Hey guys, it's Robert and you're watching Sidestep Adventures. So I'm driving down this really weird dirt road, one I've never been down before, and it's kind of interesting because it looks like a lot of the property around here has been bought up by Georgia Power. Like there's some old houses that I'll show you at the end of this video, or there is a old house, I should say, that I'll show you at the end of the video that has no trespassing Georgia Power signs on it. And there's some signs where there used to be an old hunt club that said no trespassing, but now it's got brand new Georgia Power no trespassing signs on it. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of weird, really, how it's out here, and it's like everything on the sides of the roads has been bought up by Georgia Power. I don't know why. I don't know what they might be developing out here, but it's just kind of interesting. But anyway, down this dirt road, I found this little old church that I'm looking at right now with the cemetery out here, and of course I wanted to stop and film that. Let's take a look at the church first. So I'm not sure exactly how old this church is, but it's obviously been added on to. That front portion is new, and you can see it's asbestos tiles. Heard a sound. Asbestos tiles on the side, so that's probably was added on in the 50s. This is the actual old part of the church here, and it looks like it is indeed built with square nails. There's round nail, but those are square nails there, and going all the way up. So that's probably a pre-1880s church that's just been added on to. And obviously the foundation's been changed to cinder block. And there's this addition on the back that's also newer, probably around the same age as the front of the church. And it looks like this church is still being used. Or maybe it's just recently abandoned. It's definitely seen better days. Kind of walk around the outside of it. You can see the building's seen better days. Well, there's more graves over here too. I don't know, I thought this church was still being used, but maybe not. There's vine growing on the inside of the building. Can't help but wonder if the congregation just all dried up or what happened here. It's definitely a neat old church building. All right, let's get started looking at some of the graves out here. I didn't even see these over here. These look to be newer. Here we have Ernest James Nelson, born March 1st, 1941, died April 15th, 2010. This is Reverend Johnny Frank Buford. He was born January 29th, 1937, and died February 16th, 2013. And that's a very simple concrete marker. This is Deacon Willie James Buford, who was born December 14th, 1941, and died July 8th, 2008. Look at that. It's a piece of a worked stone. place it back in the cemetery or on the church grounds. Let's take a look under the church real quick. You guys know I always like to do that. You can see it's had some modernization, modern plumbing under there. You can see in the middle the old log supports as opposed to brick under that center beam down there. And that is pretty old wood. I can see by looking at it from here how it was hand hewn. I hate to see old churches just kind of fade away like this. And so due to some time constraints today, we're not going to look at every grave. I say that a lot, especially in places where it's an unexpected stop. But this is Minnie Stevens, died December 6th, 1979. That's not a very old grave. These two are unmarked. And those two are unmarked. But here we have Denise White, born 3/1/1967, died January 5th, 1986. And Miss Cynthia White Hudson, right there, born January 22nd, 1961, died June 21st, 2006. Kind of interesting, that marker looks so old. Well, much older than 2006. It's Willie Gilbert Jr., born November 21st, 1979, died May 25th, 2008. We've got an older grave right here that's been, I would say vandalized, but it could have just fallen naturally. There's a footstone. Someone asked me the other day about footstones. I guess they're very common around here. I've always seen them in cemeteries here. I don't know about other places. So let's see if we can't roll this over. Oh man, that's pretty heavy. Let me set the GoPro down. Need a rock or something to put under that to keep it from falling over. It's a very heavy piece of granite there, but it was face down on the name. I've got it stood up. I'll find a rock and put under it before I go, so to give it a little bit more I've just got a stick under it right now. But this is Elizabeth Salter, born April 15th, 1838, died August 28th, 1892. Here is Henry Gilbert Jr., born April 16th, 1884, died February 12th, 1967. That's got to be 67, although it looks an awful lot like 87. No, I think it's 6. Yeah, it looks like that. We loved him. It says at the bottom. And here we have a interesting one. It says Little Susie Holt was born man, I'm having a hard time with this one. Was born May the 2nd, 19 something. She died September, can't read that. September 12th. I can't read the dates. It looks like 1986, which is a lot newer than I thought. Daughter of Edna Holt and Dilly Holt. Look at that dead tree right there with the graves all around it. That's a site right there. Got another tumbled stone right here. And someone did what I did over there, just leaned it up against it. This is Maddie, wife of Joe Mums, died April 3rd, 1916, age 68 years, at rest. I'll get these sticks off of this grave. There we go, that's better. Take a look over here at this one. Gracie, wife of Jim Mums, died January 13th, 1907, age 72 years, at rest. Definitely some interesting burials out here. This is Dilsian, Dilsian Clayton, born 1864, died September 14th, 1907, gone to rest. So those are newer graves up there, and then unmarked graves here. This is Thomas Booth, born June 16th, 18. Well, look at the letters are backwards. They were stamped in here, and they were stamped backwards, or upside down and backwards in that case. It looks like 1885. Died September 11th. Look at that, 1940, but the 9 is backwards. 1940. And at the bottom it says at rest. Just saw something really interesting up here. What I thought was a newer grave. This is amazing right here. Samuel Booth, born a slave in the 1800s, died January 1938, a free man. That's amazing right there. It's a really powerful grave to be beside. That's amazing. It's Georgia Booth Johnson. It says sunrise, August 17th, 1915, sunset, June 21st, 2006. Beloved mother. There's 1984, 94 newer ones, but I'll show you this one. Again, I would initially call that vandalism, but from the rest of the cemetery it doesn't look like it's vandalized, so it's probably just occurred. is a grave that's, you see, kind of comes down from that hill. Look at this drop off back here, these rolling woods. It's an unmarked grave. And we have a row here. Seaborn Jefferson, July 21st, 1914 to January 2nd, 1980. There's one that's almost covered up. It's just like the concrete topper. You can see where it was lowered in. Let's look at this one that's almost fallen over. I don't think we've looked at that one yet. It's such thin rock too. It doesn't look like it's marked. It's interesting. And there's one more that I wanted to look at right here in the woods. It's Lizzie Clayton Johnson, born October 10th, 1851, died May 5th, 1963. Now I'm definitely a skeptic when it comes to ghosts and all of that sort of thing. So when I say this, don't take it the wrong way, but I feel super uneasy out here at this cemetery. I've actually kind of felt like that on this whole dirt road. It's kind of a weird area. I think maybe it's just me, but just kind of the feelings growing out here. So I'm about to leave, but before I do, I wanted to put this camera up to the window of the church and let y'all see inside of it. I'm too short to look up through the window and see the inside, so you guys will get to see it before me. Not really, because I'll see it when I edit. But I hope you enjoyed this today. Love to see an old church. I hope it's still being used and not just another one that's been abandoned after all these years and is falling apart. It definitely doesn't look like a healthy church or a healthy congregation comes here to worship anymore. Alright guys, so here's a house and trailer I was telling you about back at the church that I wanted to show you. And it's kind of interesting because when I first came down here I thought the trailer was still being lived in. But that house definitely isn't being lived in, and neither is the trailer. And you can see there's a Georgia Power no hunting sign right there, so this is all just Georgia Power property now. It's a cool old house. It's pretty large. I'm not going to get any closer to it because there's a piano on the porch. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'd love to go in and explore that house, but and then there's just an old trailer right there. But I'd love to go in and explore that house, but also don't want to get shot and murdered out here. And as you guys know, I don't violate no trespassing signs or fences, so we'll just look at it from here. But it's kind of this, I tell you, this dirt road gives me the willies for sure. I don't know what it is about it, but maybe I think it's the fact that I see lots of signs of human activity, like these houses, that church, some more houses that I passed along the way, but there's no people out anywhere, and it's just kind of eerie. But I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next adventure.